Yo, what is this? Our second or third video out of five? Um okay. Let's get right into it. We getting into this one. This is how Yukes and 2K ended horribly for WWE games.
Remember how awesome
I think
WWE
Yukes been done
2K21
since
was?
2015 or yeah, 2014 was the last Yukes game, wasn't it?
Right. There wasn't a WWE 2K21 because it was canceled by 2K Games. The decision was announced during a WWE earnings call, citing workflow delays due to the pandemic and poor performance of their previous game, WWE2K20. Instead, they released a new game called WWE2K Battlegrounds, which is mostly forgotten now, and it came out to very mixed reactions. Some people liked it, some people didn't. It was okay for the time, but it didn't hold us over. So today we're going to talk about Yukes leaving the WWE game series to work on other stuff, why that happened, and what happened with WWE2K21 and going forward. If we look back at the time, the pandemic was a crazy thing. Everybody was on lockdown and things were moving very slow as everybody was trying to figure out what the world was going to be. Now, Yukes decided at their WWE 2K19 they would be leaving the series. The long-time developer was parting for several reasons. One of the primary factors was growing creative differences between Yukes and 2K Sports, as well as visual concepts. Yukes had been developing the game for nearly 2 decades, but over time they became frustrated with the direction of the series and the limitations imposed by the publisher. Yukes expressed dissatisfaction with their inability to innovate and bring fresh ideas to the series. In an interview with Yukes' senior vice president, he noted that they felt stuck in a rut creatively and considered working on competing wrestling games to stimulate creativity within the game. Ultimately, Yukes decided to end its relationship with 2K to focus on other projects. After Yukes departed, Visual Concepts, which had been co-developing the games for so many years, took over full development responsibilities starting at WWE.
If you've been getting scam texts like these, it was me. I said that probably means your data's been leaked, and I have all
2K20. However, the transition wasn't smooth as WWE and Visual Concepts did not get access to all of the updates that they did in WWE2K19. I'm not actually sure why that took place, but they had to go back to the WWE2K18 engine to work on WWE2K20. So that's why 2K20 turned out the way that that did, and 2K19 was so much better, but then 2K20 felt like a step back. It's because they didn't have access to the WWE2K19 updates that they had done there. However, this transition, like I said, wasn't smooth, and they faced significant issues, which played a role in the cancellation of WWE2K21. Yukes later partnered with AEW to develop AEW Fight Forever, making that their return to the wrestling games with this new partnership. Now, it will be a 2K series, so them transitioning over wasn't something new for them. While WWE2K19 received positive reaction, sale performance and financial viability of continuing the series in existing form may have influenced 2K's decision to seek new development partner to rejuvenate the franchise. By partnering with Visual Concepts, 2K Sports aimed to leverage their expertise in the sports simulation and enhance the authenticity of the WWE 2K games, making it more true to life. Shifting development responsibilities allow Yukes to focus on other projects, both within and outside the wrestling game genre, allowing them to broaden their business objectives and also rejuvenate their creativity. Visual Concepts brought a fresh perspective to the 2K series, aiming to innovate and address some of the criticisms that the previous titles had faced, such as gameplay mechanics, graphics, and the overall user experience. Even though Yukes stepped back as the primary developer for W2K series, they continued to be involved in the series in a supporting role, such as contributing to certain aspects of the game development and providing expertise based on their long tenure making WWE games, so they still gave that support all the way until WWE2K20. When Yukes did leave WWE 2K19, it was now up to Visual Concepts with WWE 2K20, and wow, did that receive a lot of criticism for several different reasons. The game was plagued with numerous bugs and glitches, making it difficult to play, and the issues ranged from minor annoyances to game-breaking problems. Many players experienced poor performance, including long load times and frame rate drops. Compared to previous entries in the series, WWE 2K20 didn't introduce many new features or improvements, and it actually felt like a step back because it actually was, because they weren't working on the 2K19 engine, they were actually working on the 2K18 engine, and that felt like a step back from 2K19, which a lot of people didn't like. There were some features like My Career Mode, which seemed underdeveloped and not executed properly in that game, and the game was considered one of the worst wrestling games ever made by some wrestling game reviewers. Now that all went down, they had to decide what was going to happen with the future of the WWE games. Well, it just so happened we were in a global pandemic at the time, and if you don't remember, it was a crazy time. Businesses were shutting down left and right. People were staying at home. We're actually working from home now and trying to get all of this done. It was a very crazy time. Well, this was a perfect time for WWE and Visual Concepts to take a long, extended look at the WWE 2K franchise and where they wanted to go in the future. Now, they literally took a year off from making a video game to actually put out WWE 2K22. So WWE 2K21 was officially canceled. It was canned for them to work on the future title of the WWE games. This actually worked out in their favor because I think if they would have released 2K21, it would have been another bad reception for everybody, especially with everybody being home from the pandemic and being able to play that game. That would be a very bad look for them, and people just weren't going to be into that game. And they had to figure out, how are we going to move this game forward, and what are we going to do going forward with the next steps in the WWE2K franchise to evolve? Because we know Yukes was working on it for so many years, so whatever their involvement was had to be filled by Visual Concepts. So they had to decide, okay, what is the path we are going to take with WWE 2K22? Visual Concepts' first stab at the game solely without Yukes' help going forward in this new era adventures with unique storylines for male and female superstars. And of course, they introduced combos for the first time that you could customize in the Create a Moveset. So there it was. WWE 2K came out and they made significant strides in addressing issues from the previous games, and it looks like this was the vision that they had moving forward. And as they say, I've heard this a million times in the WWE games franchise series history, but they say this is a foundation that we're building for the future of the WWE games, which is true in this sense. Then we had 2K24, and then we'll have 2K25, and we'll see where they will go from here. But that is a long-winded history of what happened with WWE, Yukes, WWE 2K21 not getting released, and then them recovering and going to try to innovate.
Alright, I guess we get the point what he trying to say. I feel like he just rambling at this point. Not him rambling. It's